Imagine a New York that never stopped growing upward. It's 1939, but history took a different turn. Here, the sky isn't blue, it's ochre, stained by smoke from floating refineries and the electric blue glow of refined ether. That day, the entire city gathered to admire the patriotic parade. Among the crowd were our protagonists, unaware that they would soon be fighting to escape the chaos caused by a laser beam fired from a military vehicle. Mike was a curious and restless 12-year-old boy who loved to explore the most hidden corners of the city. He inherited that passion from his mother, Lois, a dedicated worker at the Department of Sanitation Workers. Every time Lois had to clean new areas, Mike happily accompanied her, running from one place to another, but never straying from his mother's sight. On his 12th birthday, Lois had given him something very special, a small floating car supported by a light charge of ether and attached to a carbon fiber cord to prevent it from getting lost in the gray skies of the city. Mike had wanted that toy for a long time, and when he held it in his hands, he jumped for joy. Seeing that happiness lighting up her son's face filled Lois with pride, and so she called him to tell him that he would have the day off. They would take the opportunity to go together to the patriotic parade that Mike was so excited about. The parade proceeded amid music, flags, and the roar of military machinery when something unexpected happened. A man standing nearby threw a Molotov cocktail at the general's lead vehicle. No one could have imagined what would happen next. The vehicle, equipped with a laser cannon, fired immediately. The impact was brutal. Rocks, debris, and fire flew in all directions. One of those fragments hit Lois in the face. She died instantly. Mike watched in horror as his mother's motionless body lay on the ground. He dropped his balloon and tried to get closer, but the terrified crowd began to run, unintentionally pushing him away from her. The boy fell down a staircase and lost consciousness. When he woke up, he was in a small, dirty, messy room. Sitting next to a bed, watching him silently, was a burly man dressed entirely in black, wearing dark goggles and a cloth covering his face. Mike didn't know it yet, but that man was a pauper, the same one who would later meet Gia and Nellie in the main story. When Mike saw him, he was frightened, but Popper calmed him down and explained how he had found him. The boy burst into tears as he remembered what had happened. He tried to get up to go look for his mother's body, but fell to his knees and began crawling toward the exit. Popper stopped him. In a harsh voice, he told him there was nothing he could do. The waste, as the military called the dead, was thrown into the void at the edge of the city, impossible to ever recover. Hearing this, Mike screamed in despair. He didn't cry. His rage was too great. He knew the stories about the paupers because his mother used to tell them to him to get him to sleep when he refused. Between sobs and rage, he asked the man to help him avenge her. But the pauper shook his head. "You want revenge?" he said. "Become strong and get it yourself." From that day on, Mike was taken on as an apprentice by the Paupers faction, also known as the Shadow Watchers. 6 years passed, and during the week of the patriotic parade, the same event that took his mother away from him, dead soldiers began to appear, suffocated with a carbon fiber cable. The same object always hung around their necks, a small floating car. Thus was born the legend of the balloon killer,